So today is going to be the long-awaited house tour, tiny home tour. I did mention in my getting to know me video that I lived in a tiny home, and a few of you were really interested to hear more about it and what it was like living in there and how big it was. So that's what this video today is all about. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I am still sick and I am still, like, on top of that I've got hay fever as well, so the singing is just not happening. So instead you're gonna get the house tour. I did put this off for a little while because, I don't know, like, my house never feels finished and it never feels clean enough to do a video to show the rest of the world my house. Like, it's a little bit intimidating, but I thought, like, it's never gonna be finished in my view, because I'm the type of person who is continually doing things. I'm continually redecorating and all of that, so it's just always gonna be, it's never gonna be the right time. So without further ado, let's get into it. So this is our yard outside, and I know it's nothing to brag about, trust me, but the thing that is to brag about is that this used to be like this. This is sand, 100% just grey sand, and this is how humans can be the image of God, from sand to life. I'm still amazed every time I look at this yard of how much grass has grown. Like, look under my wheelbarrow. I haven't actually mowed the lawn, even though it really does need it. One, because I'm in love with my grass and I feel really sad having to chop it down since it took so long to be able to get it grass here. And two, because we don't own a lawnmower. Yeah, so this is our little yard. It's very small. We have a dog, so we do need a yard. We need a yard that she can come in and out of her doggy door so that she can come and be outside. Because it is a tiny home and she is a very active dog, she does need to go outside and she needs to go on walks all the time, and she does get walks all the time, but it is nice for her just to have space out here. This is the yard. It's a work in progress. I've got like a little garden centre just over there. I'm hoping to start growing some vegetables, but obviously you need to get some soil. This soil here, even though it's growing grass, it is not going to grow vegetables. Over here you can kind of see what our house looks like. It is, if I remember correctly, 5 meters by 5 meters. It's a little square. So, yep, that's 5 meters right there. The big window was from the tip shop. I'm going to be saying tip shop a lot here. So for you guys who don't know what a tip shop is, it's essentially where people take all their junk to the tip. All of the rubbish that you see being taken off in your little, like, wheelie bins, that goes to the tip. And some people will also just take, like, random bits and bobs to the tip as well, and it's kind of like a thrift store. At least the ones we have in Tasmania are. We call them op shops. But yeah, this is the tip shop, and it's even cheaper than an op shop, and it's stuff that maybe wouldn't find its way into an op shop, but you can get such good stuff, especially for the outside. So you'll be hearing me say, that's from the tip shop, that's from the tip shop, that's from the tip shop, a lot of times in this video, because I get everything from there. It's cheap. It's reusing things that other people have thrown out, and you usually get something that's a little bit different from what everyone else has, which that's sort of what I am after. Yeah, so if you want to see another thing from the tip, this cute little seating area. I know it's not cute with the awful ground, but the cute little seating area, that was from the tip. Probably cost me about 10 bucks. Pretty chuffed about that. And then there's a little stand there. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with that yet. I don't want to spend too much time on the yard because it's not that interesting, but here's my fairy garden that I made when I was doing exams. I was in the middle of exams last year, and instead of studying I decided to make a fairy garden. So it's not anything to brag about. This here has suffered the weather quite a bit, and I spent way too long building this. Like, I'm talking maybe like 3 hours gluing sticks together to avoid studying for exams. But we're finished now, so that's great. All right. So this is the front of our beautiful little tiny home. Let me go out this gate. Everything you see here has been made by either Brody, me, my brother, my father, and his awesome friends, which also happen to be our next door neighbours, and also happen to be builders and electricians. I should point that out. It's super cute. I love the blue colour. It was called Quantum Blue, if anyone is wondering. The windows are all from the tip shop, the door is from the tip shop, and our fence, which we made, believe it or not, only cost us maybe $300 or so. I'm not quite sure, I can't remember. But the reason it only cost that much is because we only bought these treated pine posts and these to hold everything together, and all of these are just broken apart pallets, which is why they're all different colours and look really bad. We went to Bunnings and we went to Mitre 10, and they often just give away pallets for free, so that's a really cheap and easy way to make a fence. It was an awesome idea for us because we're not going to be here very long. It's not meant to be a fence that lasts, it's just meant to be a fence that keeps the dog in for a few years. Here's my sad little attempt at a garden. Where we live, I don't know if you can see, like, we live in the middle of the bush, and there are wallabies galore here, and possums, and they will get in and they will eat everything. So this garden, believe it or not, actually had more plants, but the only ones that survived was the ones that were native, so these that I just picked out of the bush. And for some reason this one, my beautiful lavender plant, I did have another lavender plant there, but Isla kept sitting on it, so it died. And my azalea plant, I had 3 of these, and I thought this one had died, but look, she's thriving. So I've protected her with this little wheelbarrow that I picked up from a garage sale. So, how about we come inside? Do 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 do. Dun, 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 dun. How cute is the little doggy door? Isla loves it. It means she can go in and out. Okay, so this is, you've entered through the front door. This is our beautiful coat rack, umbrella, key bowl, my bouquet from my wedding, a little green fuzzy rabbit because that's normal. So I'm going to try and give you guys the best sort of feel of how big our house is. So as you walk in, if you've seen any of my chatty videos, I sit here usually, so that's like right by the door. Come inside, and we have our little shoes. So many shoes, not enough shoes. I don't know how I feel. And this here is sort of our cozy little spot, our cozy little corner. Good Christmas decorations coming up. This heater here was 50 bucks. It's a gas heater. It's meant to be indoors. Don't worry. We have ventilation too. Don't worry, we're not going to die of gas poisoning. And it heats up the house like nothing. The amazing thing about having a tiny home, I mean, there's a few amazing things about having a tiny home, but the best thing probably about it for me is that because we live in such a cold place, Tasmania is freezing most of the year. If you think about it, when you get to the edge of Tasmania, the next piece of land is Antarctica. So this tiny home heats up like nothing else. I mean, there's not much of it to heat up. It's like probably the size of an average kitchen dining area, I would say. Like if you went into a regular 3-bedroom home, the kitchen dining area, that's probably how big our house is when I think of a normal size room. So I've got my little artworks up. I really love decor. I love homemade things. I'm a little bit lame, actually. So look how cute this little nativity set is. Because it's a tiny home, so we got a tiny nativity. I can't deal. So we've got this sort of wall. If I scooch back, you can see that our house is, there's like this big beam, and our house is actually in 2 separate parts. So you can actually split it in half and fit both pieces of the house onto a truck. So it's demountable technically. It's not like a fixture. It can move. So that's what this divide is here. And so we have this wall which sort of separates the dining and the living, I guess. And then in this wall we have bookshelves, which is so handy. And look, I even have space. I went through and cleaned out all of my books really recently. And as you can see, they double up. Heaps of space for all my books, and there's more books up there. And I guess if you stand here, you can kind of see a little bit better the living area, window, And this area is just, I guess, my desk and the buffet table. And then that's where Isla sleeps. She's so cute. She's not here because otherwise she'd be really distracting. So let's get into our little kitchen. I guess to start with, we'll start with the actual kitchen bench. This is a bit of a Frankenstein of a kitchen because everything we either got off of Gumtree or off of the Tip. Pretty much everything in this house is from Gumtree or the Tip when it comes to the insides, our furniture and all of that. So this particular part, not including the top bit, this bit here was part of a set. We got that on Gumtree. It was just someone's leftover kitchen, and this is not what it looked like. It was like 2 separate parts and it had different doors, and we just took it all apart and slapped it together. The reason we got this one was because I wanted something similar to the buffet table that we'd got, which we got this from Amart, really cheap because it has like the slightest crack. I wanted something to sort of match that, so I found this on Gumtree, and then I just changed out the knobs with the gunmetal grey, which matches sort of the knobs on that one, because I like to keep things cohesive as I can. And then this was from the Tip shop, and I don't know what it was, like maybe a cupboard door or something, but it ended up fitting the bench perfectly, and it was much nicer than the one that it came with. And this sink was from Gumtree, but it was in this massive warehouse of stuff still left over from Chicken Feed, and only Tasmanians will understand this, but Chicken Feed closed down maybe like 10 years ago, and it was this amazing place with really cheap bargains, kind of like a dollar store, I guess you'd say. And this itself was an IKEA sink, but Chicken Feed had I don't know where it came from, something dodgy was going on there, but we got our cute little round sink. This, I don't know if you can tell how small this oven is, but it's so cute. I love it so much. That's just like a little caravan oven. Got that from Gumtree as well. Everything here, by the way, is run gas. So we have gas hot water and a gas stove. We don't have, like, our power outlets aren't working yet. We need to get more batteries or an inverter or something. Brody knows more about it than I do. Then we've got our cute little mug hangings there. So I guess what we wanted to do was we wanted to make sure that we had as much space as possible while things still looking cute. So these are all of our bowls and plates, all of our cups, and then as you go up, the things that we use less and less. The only reason the plunger is there is because I have an espresso machine over at my dad's house, which is only like a 5-minute walk away, and I don't use plunger coffee if I can have an espresso coffee. Then we have our little pots and pans up here. Thanks, Berta, if you're watching. I'm a musician. Then over here, we've got our little dining area. And the thing was, with planning this house, it took a lot of planning. And while Brody did a lot of the building, most of the building and all that kind of thing with my dad, I would say I probably did most of the planning out of the house and how it was going to function and where things were going to go. And this was the hardest place because it's such a small area. But I think it ended up actually looking really cute, and it's one of my favourite spots. This is our pantry, and we are so lucky that our dog doesn't really care about getting into food, because otherwise we'd be, like, if we had a Labrador, we'd be screwed, but she doesn't even care. Like, we've got open boxes, and she doesn't even care. These chairs here were from the Tip shop, but I redid the covers, so this is just curtain material from Spotlight. If you can kind of tell, I've tried to go with like a blue and yellow as the main 2 colours of the house, just because it is so small. I didn't want like lots of different colours, but I'm a colourful person, so I didn't want it to just be neutrals either. So I chose 2 main colours that the house would sort of revolve around, so that's blue and yellow, and I think they're just really happy, cute colours. And I think because our house is so small, it is a cottage, right? And so I sort of went with that. I went with that cottage vibe, and I tried to make it all cottagey. So the outside of the house is blue, and then all the walls in this house are white, except for the 2 walls in the kitchen, which are bright yellow. I wanted to be happy when I came into the kitchen in the mornings. So yeah, so we chose these from Spotlight, just blue with some florals and birds and stuff, I don't know. Really good hardwood chairs, and they probably cost maybe like $5 for the both of them, because they're from the Tip shop. This was also from the Tip shop. I think it was like an old TV case, because it's got rooms for speakers down here, and then someone's put a shelf in it. I don't know. This is what I'm saying, like stuff from the tip shop's just amazing. Cool, so this little table here, it's called a gate leg table, and we got that from Gumtree. It's English oak, I believe. It's an antique, and it was more pricey. It was $100, but the reason that we were willing to pay that much was because it can like fold down to just this size, and when you're in a tiny home, it's just good to have a table that's really versatile. Then over here is a bench seat, and my mum, she's a carpenter, so she made this for us. So she made the dimensions to fit the window. It's so cute that it fits in there. Looks so good. Means we can fit 4 people at the table despite being in a very small space. And then in here is just storage. A little bit of Christmas art. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Do it or I'll come for you. It's my friend Gemma, my good friend Gemma. She made this cute little tea time. What do you call them? What is it? Not embroidery. Cross stitch. Cross stitch. Alright, let's make our way this way. So this ladder here was made by my husband Brody. He's very talented, and it can like slip in and out. So up there it can slip in and out, so we can move it if we want to, because it is like in the middle of the room. This here was one of the only new furniture pieces in the house as well. We got it just because it matched so well with our house and we didn't have a coffee table. These 2 little chairs, that one was from the tip shop. This one was from an antique store. Wanted something that would not take up too much space, and because they don't have arms as well, they don't take up a lot of space. That cute little stand with a tissue box on it is from Salvos. Over here, we've got the buffet table, which I've already explained is from Amart. Got my cute little pot plant. Pot is from the tip shop. This here is the mirror. My mum made this, again, carpenter, and it's like a full-length mirror as well, which is great. I like being able to see myself when I go out. I also like to practice my dance moves, and Lord knows I need it. These here, if you're wondering, are actually works in progress. Oh, with the house, this is what I'm saying, like the house is never finished. It's been like a year. We're like nailing them up here. And by we, I mean my husband. This plant, oh my goodness, can anyone tell me what this is? Because my mum cultivated it from a cyclamen. And this is not a cyclamen. This is not a cyclamen, and I don't know what it is. You can see these tiny little leaves here. Those are cyclamen leaves, but we don't know what it is. And it's just been sitting there, and I mean, I haven't died, so it's probably not deadly. And so here we are entering the bathroom. As you can see, these doors are pretty haphazard, thrown together. They are like a double door. So these actually came with the kitchen bench that we got, and they were pantry doors, and those were like cupboard doors that we cut in half and then stuck to the top. These cute little handles just came from, I believe it was the importer. And then over here we've just got my guitar, because that's the only place it fits. Alright, and then we come in. Oh, the door doesn't completely open because of my guitar. This is Tiny Home Problems. Okay, so we come through and you can see the cute little window that we got from the tip shop. This hoop here is actually a hula hoop that I spray painted brass to be able to match all of the little brass elements. It's kind of hard to give a good, because everything's so small, it's hard to show you exactly what it looks like, but here we go. That's what our little bathroom looks like. These tiles here were my other project, my creative project. I made these, they were just white tiles. You can look up how to sort of water marble with Sharpie and alcohol. It was just like, what do you call it, rubbing alcohol. And then over the top I just used enamel to draw out the little fish scales, and it's super cute, and it took way too long, and I don't know if I'd do it again, but I'm glad that I did it. In here we've just got a half wine barrel, which acts as sort of like a little tub, but we just use it for a shower usually. I have sat in it before, and it can be relaxing for a little while. Underneath we just have storage, and then over here we've got this cute little mirror. Hi. And then you can see on the opposite wall there's this drawing, which I thought would look really good in here because it's fish. Brody made that for us when we got engaged. And then here's my really messy counters that are inbuilt into the wall. So you can kind of see how walls are made when you look in here. We just didn't cover this section of the wall like we did with the rest of the walls, if that makes sense. So we made little cubbies for all of the stuff that we needed instead. And then on the back of the doors, we've got our hooks, which hold our towels. Alright, so now that we've seen the bathroom, let's make our way up to the bedroom, where all the magic happens. So we climb up this ladder every single day, all the time. Good workout. Ugh. It's at a slight angle, so I can actually walk down it without using my hands, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense. So, this is our bedroom. As you can see, it's like a little tiny loft. This wallpaper job was friggin' the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Like, to match it up and to do all of the little tiny little... And then our little light switches, like there's 3 light switches, had to make sure that it fit around there. I am no maths student, okay? I hate maths, and I just eyeballed it. And, wow. Okay, so we step onto the bed, and the bed is just like on the floor, I guess. You can guess which side is mine and which side is Brody's. Oh my gosh. We've got these big sort of cupboards on either side. I've got 3. Brody's got 2. And mine is like literally coming out. I have to like close it every time. I would say that one of the hardest parts about living in this tiny home has been the storage space. While we did try to make our tiny home really smart storage wise, like obviously it's our first time building a house. I never expected to have to build a house in my life. There were obviously things that we probably could have done better. We've got a window just in case there's a fire and we need to like hop out quick smart. Brody's got his little rocket there. Well, not little, it's quite large actually. It's very cozy in here, I will say. And when you're lying in bed and it's raining and the roof is just like right here, it's so cozy. And in the morning I can like scooch to the edge of the bed and just sort of like sit and watch out that window. This light here was from Bunnings. These handrails Brody made out of copper piping. So much for watching my tiny home tour. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like and please subscribe. I hope for those who had questions about this that some of them were answered. If not, I will be doing a part 2 if I get enough questions or comments about this video of things that you would like to know more about. So maybe how much everything cost, how much effort we had to put in, how long it took, all that kind of thing. Like, I do have photos and that kind of thing of the building process, so if that's something you guys are interested in, just let me know and I can make a part 2. Otherwise, I thought I would just end by saying what I like and what I don't like about living in a tiny home. So I'm going to start with the not likes because I want to end on a good note. What I don't like about the tiny home is, as I said, the storage is pretty hard. Sometimes it forces me to be less materialistic, which is a good thing, but also it just means that things get really cluttered really easily. The other thing that I probably don't like about it is just that I would like to have more room in general. I think having a separate study or something to the lounge room would be really nice. It means we could have fit in a couch or a TV or something, but we don't have that stuff here. We have our laptops and that kind of thing that we can watch videos and stuff on, but we don't really have an entertainment space if we want people to come over and if we want to sit and watch a movie with them or anything. So yeah, and I can't really like lounge around. If I want to lounge around, I come up here, but then I feel just like lazy. You know how lounging around on the couch feels less lazy than lounging around in bed? That's such a small issue. Okay, so the things that I love about the tiny home is that it's given us a lot more freedom when it comes to saving money. That's the biggest one. We don't pay rent now, so we've just got this tiny little home which cost about a year's worth of rent to build. Then if we live in it a few years, it means that that money that could have been gone to rent is actually, like, we can save that, which is amazing. The other thing is just the environmental side of things as well. Like, we've got solar power and we've got water from the sky in our tank, and that's how we live. And then we go and we buy gas bottles every now and then for hot water and stuff. So it's a very simple way to live, and it's made me really appreciate existence. Is that too deep? It made me appreciate my place in the world. Like, we live in the bush, so I feel a lot more connected to nature in a way. So I really, really love that. And I think just the fact that it's ours is the biggest one. I feel so relaxed in here because I'm not, I'm not in someone else's space. It's a lot nicer in that respect, that it's ours to enjoy together, and something that we can be proud of that we did together and made. And yeah, so I think that's about it. If you are considering building or living in a tiny home, I really like it. I'm a materialistic person at heart, and if I can say that I like living in a tiny home, then most of you probably can if you don't have children. I will say. You can't fit another person in this house. We've got a dog, and that's plenty. Yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Remember to leave a comment down below if you have any questions. Bye!